Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, humanitarian flight hijacked while delivering medicine to South Sudan. FAA begins cutting barriers to flying on antidepressants. Chinese rocket maiden flight meets a fiery end. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. Humanitarian flight hijacked while delivering medicine to South Sudan. A Samaritan's Purse humanitarian flight was hijacked on Tuesday, December 2nd, while attempting to supply a mobile medical unit in South Sudan. Authorities were able to meet the aircraft on the ground and take the suspect into custody without further incident. The aircraft involved was one of the organization's Cessna Grand Caravans that operates solely within Africa. It was slated to fly to Maiwut to supply a mobile medical unit when an armed individual gained access to the plane before departure. Only the pilot and one staff member were on board. The pilot was able to maintain control of the aircraft and divert to Wau, South Sudan, where the plane landed safely. Upon arrival, the hijacker was detained by the National Security Service of South Sudan. No major injuries were reported. A statement from Samaritan's Purse reads, quote, "We praise God that no one was seriously injured, and we're grateful to the security forces for their support and swift action on the ground to resolve the situation and bring a safe outcome," end quote. Authorities identified the suspect as Yasser Mohammed Yusuf, who's a resident of the contested Abyei administrative area. While investigators have yet to uncover a motive, initial reports show that Yusuf demanded to be flown to Chad once on board. After the break, Cosmonaut kicked from SpaceX mission last second.
It's time to upgrade your power plant to the first FAA-certified clean sheet engine design in over 60 years. Delta Hawk's jet fuel-powered liquid-cooled turbocharged engine produces turbine performance at 40% better fuel efficiency of typical reciprocating engines, while also achieving exceptional reliability and significant reduction in cost of ownership. Reserve your engine package today at deltahawk.com.
I'm currently using the Hartzell Talon, by far the best aerobatic propeller ever come out.
I use the Trailblazer. It adds performance to the Super Decathlon and dependability, and it's rugged.
Hartzell's been an excellent partner for Whip Air, just in terms of your product support as well as keeping an eye on the market and developing new products that meet demand.
It's helping us all have better performing airplanes.
It's such a proud honor to fly behind that propeller.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Cosmonaut kicked from SpaceX mission last second. A Russian cosmonaut has been abruptly removed from SpaceX's upcoming Crew 12 mission after reportedly violating U.S. national security regulations. Oleg Artemyev, a veteran Roscosmos cosmonaut, has been replaced by fellow cosmonaut Andrei Fedyayev. Roscosmos' explanation claimed it to be to transfer to another job. However, an independent investigative outlet reported that the real cause was a breach of ITAR, a U.S. law restricting unauthorized access to controlled aerospace and defense technologies. Artemyev allegedly photographed SpaceX engines, documentation, and other sensitive hardware while at the company's Hawthorne, California headquarters. Airbus forced to scale back delivery target amid A320 trouble. Airbus has backed down from its initial 2025 commercial aircraft delivery target, cutting its projection from 820 aircraft to approximately 790 after dealing with defects affecting thousands of A320 family aircraft. The adjustment comes as they recover from one of its most significant share plunges in years. A quality issue involved metal fuselage panels manufactured with incorrect thickness. The defect was found on a limited number of A320 family aircraft currently in production, forcing Airbus to quickly contain the problem and rework or replace impacted components. USAF F-16 commander awarded Silver Star for strike mission. Lieutenant Colonel William Skate Parks was awarded the Silver Star, one of the country's highest honors for valor in combat, after he purposely flew his four-ship of F-16s into a heavily defended air defense zone in the Middle East to draw enemy fire and clear the way for the rest of the strike force to destroy ballistic missile production facilities. Lieutenant Colonel Parks was commanding the 480th Expeditionary Fighter Squadron, as well as a strike group of 21 aircraft on the mission. His four-ship formation was tasked with the suppression of enemy air defenses, during which they faced a barrage of precisely targeted missiles and anti-aircraft fire. Ukraine destroys one of only 2 Russian A-60s. Ukraine completed one of its most symbolic strikes of the war over the Thanksgiving week, destroying an exceptionally rare Russian A-60 airborne laser laboratory during a large-scale drone and missile attack on Taganrog. Many other airframes, including what seems to be an A-100LL, were also impacted. Satellite imagery was what confirmed that the unmistakable humped-spine aircraft, which was one of only 2 ever built, has been obliterated in the November 24th and 25th assault. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. FAA begins cutting barriers to flying on antidepressants. The FAA has taken an unusually cooperative step toward pilot mental health reform, reducing the stabilization wait time for approved antidepressant medications from 6 months to just 3. Though this is in itself a basic change, it reflects years of industry efforts. Under the revised policy, airmen and air traffic control specialists may now submit special issuance medical packages after maintaining a stable dose of an approved antidepressant for at least 3 continuous months. The update comes more than a year after the FAA's Mental Health and Aviation Medical Clearances Aviation Rulemaking Committee issued a report recommending 24 separate reforms. This addresses just one of them. The FAA expanded and renamed its antidepressant protocol in 2023 and again last April. Together, the revisions added 4 new classes of drugs to the pool of conditionally acceptable antidepressants for special issuance authorizations, bringing the total to 9. Several widely requested alterations remain in limbo. Pilots who discontinue medication must still wait a minimum of 60 days before reapplying for regular medical certification, plus documentation from a treating physician. Applicants continuing treatment must undergo evaluation by a HIMSS qualified aviation medical examiner, and factors like psychosis, suicidal ideation, electroconvulsive therapy, multi-agent psychiatric drug regimens, or concurrent SSRI use remain disqualifying. The policy adjustment follows sustained pressure from pilot advocacy groups and several high-visibility incidents that revived advocacy for updated aeromedical mental health rules. After these messages, Chinese rocket maiden flight meets a fiery end.
Looking for a new generation of proven and efficient aviation power plants that boast modern engineering, electronic ignition, and both direct and gear drive systems? With 100 horsepower to 240 horsepower, the Skyline and Redline engines offer uncommon value in an overpriced industry. Whether you are looking for fixed wing or rotor, MW Fly Americas has been established to service the American market with dedication and expertise. MWFlyAmericas.com.
Meet the first of a new generation of the M-Class family. The M700 Fury. An aircraft worthy of the name, an indomitable force. The M700 Fury transcends traditional limits with more power, blistering performance, a finely appointed interior, and the luxury of what matters most: time. Experience the Fury. Join the legacy.
Direct Fly USA proudly introduces the new Alto NG, a single-engine, 2-seat light sport aircraft for the North American market. This simple, all-metal aircraft design provides low-maintenance cost, easy, comfortable access, and responsive flight controls. Equipped with the Rotax 912 engine and a ballistic parachute, the Alto NG is reliable and safe. Learn more about the Alto NG at directflyusa.com.
Welcome back. Chinese rocket maiden flight meets a fiery end. The maiden flight of LandSpace's Juche 3 rocket on December 3rd was one for the books, for both its successes and failures. The rocket reached orbit before the first stage booster recovery attempt resulted in an explosion near the edge of the landing pad. Juche 3 is a 2-stage reusable vehicle capable of placing more than 18 metric tons into low Earth orbit when recovered. Its methane-fueled stainless steel launcher propelled it off from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center on December 3rd for its first and only flight to date. Juche 3 completed all but one of its primary mission objectives. It successfully separated its stages, deployed its fairing, and delivered its expendable second stage to orbit using a Tianjia 15A vacuum engine restart. The booster also checked off most recovery steps, including engine throttling, attitude control, and return to launch site guidance. The mission marked the first flight of LandSpace's next-gen launcher and the company's most ambitious test to date. The bad news is the one objective it failed to achieve, the planned vertical landing of the first stage. The booster re-entered as expected, ignited its engines for the landing burn, and approached the designated pad with high accuracy. Moments before touchdown, however, quote, an anomaly occurred as the first stage approached the designated recovery zone, end quote, resulting in a fireball that scattered debris just meters from the pad. No injuries were reported. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.